Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel RVCCISinfo, where faculty representatives from Rock Valley College's Computers and Information Systems Department talk to you, our community at large, about things roughly having to do with computers and information systems. Joining me, as always, is Stephanie. Howdy, everybody. I'm Eric, and today we thought we would talk a little bit about the new M1-powered iPad Pro. So coming off of everything else we've been talking about here through the pandemic, I know I have relied on an iPad to do some of my coursework stuff, and Stephanie actually has not only an iPad but also an Android tablet.
Yeah, the Samsung Android tablet that I hate. I'm just going to say that I like the iPad better, but you know. So
for all of you in the comments that say it's just Eric with the iPad, whatever, it is not.
No, I'm going to, whatever. Yeah. It's fine. It works fine. It works much better than the Android tablet.
Mm-hmm. So just for context, it's like a Samsung S6, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was just under $400.
Okay.
So.
And then the iPad you have is just the regular one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That one was cheaper. It was, I think I bought it because it was on sale for a little over $300. And
yeah, I'm sure it showed up in like the Twitter feed somewhere. I remember talking about it.
Yeah. We talked about it in a podcast too. And so, yeah.
So, yeah. And I'll say, like, having an M1 Mac Mini, the power there is crazy. So I actually switched back here to my iMac today because my silly webcam settings didn't work well over on my iMac or my Mac Mini, and I'll have to figure it out. But everything my 2017 iMac can do, the cheapest model of the Mac Mini can do faster, full stop. Oh. And all of that power must be insane in an iPad Pro. But really the question is, like, is it necessary even?
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. The iPad is a lot of money. But I mean, I spent that amount of money in two devices. So really, I probably could have just bought an iPad Pro and then.
Yeah. And for those of us in education, which is all of us and all of you watching, like, you can go to the Apple Store for Education. I will put a link to that in the description here if I remember. And you get a discount. It's $750 for a brand new 11-inch iPad Pro, which, you know, honestly, the investment there is as close to future-proof as I can really figure any device could be. So I have a 2018 iPad Pro, the 11-inch one. I actually bought it as an open box from Best Buy. I bought it in 2018, and I use it all day, every day. And I still never want for extra power. Like, even when I'm doing things like editing this video down in Premier Rush or LumaFusion, or if I get super duper lazy, sometimes I'll use iMovie because I can just hit, like, fix it and it does. But the exporting times on that, my 2018 iPad Pro, are faster than they'll be here on my iMac.
Oh. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I convinced me, actually. So
well, we talked about that in the previous one, right? We can convince ourselves of anything.
Yeah, of anything. Because I was going to say, it doesn't really pay off if you're going to spend on this overly powerful iPad. But if you want that device to last forever, maybe you do. Because, I mean, look how long a regular iPad lasts for $350. And that little bit more investment gets you a way nicer screen, better speakers, a crazy capable processor that on a mobile device is probably going to be good for 5 or 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother has an old iPad that he uses for, they had Kindles, like the HD, what is it? The Fire.
Kindle Fire HD.
Yeah, the HD one. And I gave it to them a couple years ago. And my brother's like, well, I switched back over to the iPad because the video for the movies and everything on it, that just works so much better than those. Because those Kindle, they slow down so fast. So
yeah, I had bought one for the boy, for like when we would take long car trips. And look, I understand for everybody out there who's like, I survived a long car trip without, nah, I am here for quality of life. And if an $80 7-inch Kindle, I could load episodes of like Octonauts on there, and I don't have to murder my entire family and everybody in a county, that's fine. But
and my brother's girls have moved on to games. They've moved on to, they're big into Minecraft and things like that. So that's where the iPad is superior against the Kindle.
Oh, yeah. And it's the apps, because and for anybody who has seen over the last couple of days, I've complained about this over in our Twitter feed and on Facebook. We are RVCCISInfo if you'd like to follow us there. But there's a brand new Samsung tablet that looks just like the iPad Pro, and it's supposed to be, their upper tier right below. So like the -1 from the very top, right? And it comes with a 765 Snapdragon chip, which is not that great. It only has 4 gig of RAM, which on Android is not that great.
Oh.
And when you're done, what's the software you're going to get on there? There is, there's no LumaFusion. There's no Apple Arc. Well,
And the amount of money you spend on that, my mom just bought an AMD Ryzen 5 laptop for the amount of money that you spend on some of these tablets. So.
Yeah. Yep. And so, coming from me, it's almost certainly always going to be taken as, like fanboyism, but really it's the software experience is the bigger thing that sets apart, an Android tablet versus an iPad.
Well, and honestly, if you're doing video editing, you had sold me on LumaFusion, and that is awesome on the iPad. You can't find an equivalent really for the Android.
No, there's nothing on the Android side. And I've tried lots. There's Filmic Pro, which is actually an iOS app, also is available on the Android side. And I had put we have an original iPad Air that Filmic still runs on. And I tried it on an Android tablet, the same project, the same everything. And the original iPad Air actually beat it out by about this much on the export. And it's like, that's insane. That iPad is from 2012, I think. And it beat a newer Samsung, an S6, actually, for the export. It's like, well,
they're so slow. Those Androids are so slow. That was my biggest complaint. Because I have I think I bought a new Kindle because somebody posted it.
Some jackass probably put it on a Facebook post. Yeah.
And I wanted a bigger screen to read with my Kindle, and that actually runs faster than the Samsung.
Oh, that really hurts, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. So I don't know, but I only read books on it, so that's probably why. But
yeah, that probably does help. But
because I can't install anything.
That is true.
A Kindle. So
come on, the Silk browser on Kindle, isn't that good?
Oh my God,
they're terrible.
Whatever.
We'll just bash there you have it. The M1 iPad Pro, probably worth your investment if you really want it.
Yeah, if you have that much money laying around.
Yeah, honest. I did say this. I know I keep referring to things I did on social media before, which makes me the worst kind of jackwagon. But really, the 2020 iPad Pro is starting to sell now for $650, which is still a lot of money. I'm not trying to say it isn't, but it is super bright. I was outside today at noon in peak sun, and I had no problem seeing it, even with my not polarized, super shitty drugstore sunglasses on. No problem. And crazy fast. I think it's an A12X chip in there last year. I have an iPad that runs that. And like I said, when I'm doing, exports of things like a 30-minute video here we'll put together for this, it goes in 2 or 3 minutes, which is insanely fast. And that's with things like generators, the tiles up and down, and our logo over here, and all that other good stuff. So if you need to save the money, you can get a previous generation iPad Pro and it'll last forever. Otherwise, honestly, the regular iPad is a fantastic investment for most people because it'll last for 3 or 5 years. You'll get to play games on it. You've got real app, like app support on there, and they're really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So there you have it, iPads all around. You can leave your vitriol and your hate in the comments below while you're down there. Otherwise, your love for Apple products too. That, I think, is perfectly appropriate.
If we talk about computers, then I'm just going to have to step in then.
We'll do real computer stuff next time. I think that'll be fine, because then it'll be Apple against PC stuff again, and that's fun too. So while you're down there, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future episodes as they become available. You can also follow us on social media. We are at RVCCISInfo on Twitter, on Facebook, on Anchor.fm, and here on YouTube. So on behalf of Stephanie, myself, Eric, and the rest of the Rock Valley College community, stay safe and stay sane out there, everybody.